Shalom. First and foremost, to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shemi Shah, by Shemir Kodash. Yahweh is the name of the Heavenly Father who really calls God. And his name in Hebrew means he exists. And Yahweh Shah's name is only begotten Son, who the world calls Jesus Christ. And his name in Hebrew means he delivers. By Shemir in the name, Rekah Kodash, the Holy Spirit. I want to give double honor to the apostles and elders of the great millstone of the well. Peace and blessings unto the sincere having this push forward in the truth throughout the four corners of the earth. I want to say shalom to brothers and keep pushing. And a double shalom unto the Israelites that's looking like the other nations and share with them. I want to say shalom to brothers and sisters as well. My name is Dewey from Jim Line, St. Louis Camp. And I'll come back at another video. And I'm entitled this video, You Are Going Through This Hell to Appreciate the Kingdom of Heaven. Okay? You are going through this hell to appreciate the kingdom of heaven, because the kingdom of heaven is going to be forever. All right, in this current state that we in, this low, decrepit, miserable existence that we in is all temporary. Okay, because hey, this world is about to get ready and pass away. All right, so yeah, we not gonna have to endure this place too much longer. Okay, so the Lord's about to get ready to come back. All right, so I'd like to start off with this quote. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Right, so this is Marcus Aurelius. Okay, and through study we found out that he was a Jake, a Roman emperor. All right, and he practiced the philosophy of Stoicism. Which is basically like somewhat subscribing to the scriptures. You had to have like a stoic, focused mind, like when you come into the truth and serve Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, because you realize that everything around you is all vanity. Even our forefather King Solomon, he said that all is but vanity, because like everything that's over here in this place is vanity, from the cars, from the people, the houses. Like when you realize and coming to the truth, you realize that you don't really need all those things. Okay, they really just extra. Okay, and you have to be comfortable with the bare minimum. Like the necessities, because everything else is extra. All right, and you learn what's important, because this world teaches vanity. It teaches that you got to keep up with the Joneses, and you need a woman that looks like this. You need to drive this kind of car. You need to go here in the world. Da 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 da. Which nothing wrong with traveling, okay, but it's just the fact that everybody got to show everybody where they been at. Yeah, because we see Jake on social media, and trying to brag and boast, and basically trying to make their constellation on this side. But look, the men of the Lord, when we get into power, and Lord will not be a part of that number, okay, we gonna travel the world, we gonna travel the seas, okay, because this parts that Esau can't go. All right, we're gonna travel the whole galaxy and all the other galaxies, which is an infinite number of them. Okay, so this is start off with this. This is Isaiah 1:25, and it reads, "I will turn my hand upon thee and purge, Shalakia, and purely purge away thy dross, and take away all thy tin." Right, so yeah, tin. It's it's a type of metal. Okay, it's pretty much worthless. It's like what they make like canned goods out of. All right, and I will restore thy judges as at the first, and thy counsels as at the beginning. Afterward, thou shalt be called the city of righteousness, the faithful city. Right, because Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. Okay, because everybody now is looking down on the Israelites. The scripture says they shall wag their head at thee. Because these nations, they look down on Jake in a low estate, strung out on drugs. They look down. And as beautiful as the Israelite women are, okay, from, the so-called black woman on down. So the Judite woman down to the Issacharite woman. All right. Y'all are in a low estate. Okay. The other men of the nations, they don't look at you with respect as a respectable woman. They just look at you as a piece of ass. Just want to clap your cheeks. Okay. And I'm just keeping it real. All right. So this is verse 27. Zion shall be redeemed with judgment, and her converts with righteousness, and the destruction of the transgressors and of the sinners shall be together, and they that forsake the Lord shall be consumed. Right, because the 2/3, because like right now y'all are dross, because that's pretty much what the whole nation is seeing now. Because Esau Edom is a devil, in case you didn't know, because he putting up all these 2/3 Israelites as this is the way to be. He basically giving us our leaders because he know that Israel is a sheeple. Okay, they followers. They need a shepherd to lead them and guide them and to tell them what to do. All right, but on the flip side, Israel, they always kill the prophets. Because the prophets are the real leaders of the nation of Israel. Okay, so you're the prophets and the righteous kings. Okay, and you had wicked kings as well, but the true leaders of the nation of Israel are the prophets. Okay, because they are directly dealing with Yahweh Shem Yahushai. It says, for they shall be ashamed of the yokes which ye have desired, and ye shall be confounded for the gardens that ye have chosen. For ye shall be as an ox, so like it as an oak whose leaf faded, and as a garden that have no water. And the strong tower shall be so like it. And the strong shall be as a tower, and the maker of it as a spark, and they shall both burn together, and none shall quench them. Right. So talking about the 2/3. Okay, because the Lord he has to cut you people out because you're just not getting it. All right. Because the Lord he giving you a chance, but you fanning your hand. All right. So now I'm gonna go over here to getting off topic, but I'm gonna go over here to Romans the 7th chapter and verse 12. It says, "Wherefore the law is holy, and the commandment is holy, and just and good." Right? Because that's the reason why we went into captivity in the first place, is by breaking God's laws. Okay, so yeah, we got filthy because the law is supposed to keep us clean and keep us in check and keep us within specs. You got like a car, you got to check the fluids on the car. Got to make sure they don't get dirty. If they get dirty, you got to change it. Okay. So, verse 13, was that then which is good made death unto me? God forbid, but sin, that it might appear sin, working death in me by that which is good, that sin by the commandment might become exceedingly sinful. For we know that the law is spiritual, but I am carnal, so under sin. For that which I do, I allow not. For what I would, that I do not. But what I hate, that I do. Right? Because, you know what to do, but then, hey, a temptation might come. Okay? And I'm not saying, like, you, like, it's like a piece of pork somewhere like at your job, you like, oh brother, I just couldn't resist that. Like, nah, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, like if like let's say today the Sabbath and you have to work, okay, which today is the Sabbath, but like let's say you had to work today, and you like, dang, like I gotta get something to eat. Well, already you working, so that's breaking the Sabbath right there. So there's nothing you can do about that. But then you decide to cook something, or you go buy something, okay. So yeah, that's it's breaking the Sabbath because you're not supposed to buy or sell. Which you really can't keep the all the commandments in this society, okay. Or you might find yourself looking at a woman, you know, that 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 might have a partner, which these women are wicked as hell. They love to get attention from men, all right, and plus they wear these different type of tight clothing and revealing clothing. So you like, damn, you got to catch yourself, okay, because Jake be getting those wandering eyes, all right. But so that's why we got to get up out of here. And so yeah, so let's keep going. It says, verse 16: If then I do that which I would not, I consent unto the law, that it is good. Now then, it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Right. So yes, so sin is in me. Because it's already in us to, to sin, because it's the condition of the battle, according to the angel Uriel and the prophet Ezra. Okay. It says, yeah, because sin is in us, because like we are subject to our flesh. It says, verse 18, for I know that in me, that is, in my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but now to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I would I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Right. So the evil, okay? Because the evil is already in us. And that's just so frustrating, But when we get those new bodies, we're going to appreciate being righteous. And we're going to appreciate the Lord blessing us, like not having wicked thoughts, okay? Not breaking the Sabbath. Because we're going to totally be in our glory, all right? It says, for I know that in me, that is my flesh, dwelleth no good thing. For to will is present with me, but how to perform that which is good I find not. For the good that I do not, but the evil which I would not, that I do. Right. Now, if I do that I would not, it is no more that I do it, but sin that dwelleth in me. Right. Then it's like, I find then a law that when I would do good, evil is present with me. Right. So yeah, evil is present. Because, a temptation is always around the door, because Satan is always lurking to try to get you. All right? Because this literally is the shadow of the valley of death. Okay? Because this is not your rest. Because it's only getting more and more wicked the longer we stay here. So you have to make sure that you on point in order to survive and to survive these tests, because Yahweh Shemel Shah is gonna send tests to you, and you gotta pass, okay? Because if you an elect, man, you gonna submit yourself to the will of Yahweh Shemel Shah, So this is Romans 8:18. And it reads, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us. All right. So yeah, so the sufferings of this present time, because we suffering. We subject to payments and all that. All right. It says, verse 19, for the earnest expectation of the creature waited for the manifestation of the sons of Yahweh. For the creature was made subject to vanity, not willing, but by reason of him who hath subject the same in hope. Because the creature itself also shall be delivered from the bondage of corruption into the glorious liberty of the children of Yahweh. For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now. Yeah, for the whole creation groaneth. Okay, so yeah, everything is mourning under the hand of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. You know, because he pretty much destroyed paradise. You know, he made everybody a damn slave to worship him. Because even in the kingdom of heaven, you know, because we're going to have slaves because that's our God-given right. Yahweh Shemashah is going to bless us with servants and handmaids so they can do the work that we don't want to do. Because, you know, you might say that there's evil, but that's what the Israelites are doing in this society. You know, Israelites are trash, man, and, you know, oil change guys and like at dealerships and car places, Jiffy Lubes and stuff like that, doing community service. Okay, you know, you got the so-called black woman working at these call centers. All right, what kind? So yeah, we at the bottom, but you other nations, you're gonna be at the bottom, and we gonna be at the top, because that was one of the curses that Yahweh Shemini Ashar put on our people. Okay, that we was gonna be the tail and not the head, because really, the tail is ruling, because the tail is who Esau Edom, because he's the what? He's the basis of men. All right. It says, verse 23, and not only they, but ourselves also, which are the first fruits of the spirit. Right. So yeah, the first fruits, which is the elect, the first spirits that was born, you know, underneath Yahweh Shai. Okay, because Yahweh Shai was the first spirit that was ever made. You know, that's why he's known as the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father. Even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption to wit the remedy, so like the redemption of our body. Right. So yeah, the redemption. You know, because this whole place is a hell. Even your own body is a damn hell. Okay, you got blemishes and marks and shit on your body. Back hurt. You know, you might got a big ass gut or whatever. Might got bad skin, eczema. You know, you name it. Yeah, I don't have to name everything. So yeah. Even this is it's a hell. Okay, so let's get Jude. Let's get Jude, the first chapter. It says in verse 6, the angels was kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation. He have reserved unto everlasting change under darkness, unto the judgment of the great day, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them, in like manner giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Right? And constantly. So yeah, the judgment day, which is the thermonuclear fire, that's about to get ready to happen, and it looks like it's gonna happen in the next few years. Okay, if that. All right. So the angels, which are the 144,000. All right, that went off, started worshiping other gods and doing whatever, and the rest of our nation, you know. Right. Hey, we understand, cause it's a battle, okay. Because it's like you got to fight to stay sane. You got to fight to not do anything wicked. Okay, you got to fight not to commit adultery. Yeah, and sometimes who said that was easy? Hey, it's not easy. Okay, because hey, the most easiest women to talk to is the women who got men. Okay, and the hardest women to talk to is women who don't have men. You know, because like they might be damaged. Still hung up on their ex or whatever, or trying to prove to themselves and everybody else around them that they don't need no man or whatever. Okay, this whole society is backwards. That's why this society needs to be destroyed. It's wicked. It's stupid, man. It ain't, and it's only getting worse. Okay, it ain't getting no better. All right, it's not getting no better. It's only getting worse. All right. So let's go to Genesis, third chapter. I'm gonna start at 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, which the Lord Yahweh have made. And he said unto the woman, Yea, have Yahweh said, Ye should not eat of every tree of the garden? And the woman said unto the serpent, We may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh have said, Ye should not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For Yahweh does know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Right? So yeah, it's knowing good and evil. Because this whole simulation that we going through is just to know evil. Alright? Because you can't know good without knowing evil. Because Yahweh Shemi Shah knows good and evil. Yahweh created evil. Okay? Because like whatever it is that you got the polar opposite. You got up, down, left, right, cold, hot, fast, slow, good and evil. Bad conditions, good conditions. Even like with the weather. Well, of course, like cold and hot. But you got winter and you got summer. And you got in between, you got the transition. The transition seasons, so spring and fall. Okay. So kind. It says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, a tree to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. Right. In which the rest is history. That's the reason why we gotta die now. Okay. And the reason why we in these damn bodies, because Yahweh Shemi Shah made us to be immortal. Okay, according to Wisdom of Solomon, the second chapter, around with the 26th verse. So let's go over here to book of Isaiah 45. Let's just prove that the Lord created evil. Verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. Right, so the Lord do all these things. Okay? Because, like, whatever comes upon you, Yahweh Shemi Shah allowed it to come upon you. It's probably some shit that you did. Okay? Or he's trying to teach you a lesson. Okay? Because even with dealing with certain women, the Lord, he would allow certain women to play you or to get one up, commit adultery on you. Why? Because you might have been too invested. Because the scripture says what? The Lord is a jealous power. All right. So like the Lord wants you to put your focus on on Him. All right, and not some woman, like, because a woman is material things. Because you women are property. I know y'all don't want to hear that, but a woman has three owners: her father, the streets, or her husband. All right. So one of the three, and a lot of y'all Babylonian women, you done dip and dabble into all three, but and the kingdom of heaven is not gonna be like that. Okay. So yep. I forgot my point, Shalakia. But yeah. Um, I remember now. The water Yahweh Shemai Shai. So yeah, Yahweh Shemai Shai is jealous because you have to put his attention. You have to put your attention all on him. All because you got to be all about Yahweh Shemai Shai, because Yahweh Shemai Shai gave you everything. It might be Exodus 20. Yep. This is I'm gonna start at 2. It says I am the Lord thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children, upon the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Right, so yeah, I'm jealous. So Yahweh Shemai Shai is jealous. Hey, because even then, you got some niggas that worship women. Okay? And you ain't supposed to be worshiping no damn woman. You got niggas that talking about they drinking bath water and all that. Alright? And you even got dudes that's buying these nasty, sweaty socks that these women be wearing. And, you even got women selling farts in a jar. Okay? So, hey, it's funny, but at the same time, you're shaking your head because, hey, that's where we at now. You got people that's buying farts in a jar, man. Well, that sounds like some Edomite shit, but I wouldn't doubt if Jake doing that stuff as well. Like, how do you get off for smelling a damn fart, man? Like, ugh, that's disgusting. You want to even smell my own damn fart, let's know somebody else's. It's just, especially a woman, man. Because you women, you eat all type of abominations. Shrimp, crab, pork, lobster, squid. All right. All type of stuff. You women, you don't fast to go on water fasts and stuff like that. Because you used to being comfortable. All right. So you can only imagine how funky them damn farts smell. Okay. So disgusting, man. But Kanye, you got Jakes that do that, man. That worship these women. And you gotta love your Yahweh Shemai Shai more than you love your wife or your children. And that's a requirement, man. Because, like, in other words, like, your purpose has to come first. Like what you got going on. And your wife, she really comes last. Okay? Especially if you got children. And if you understand, because Yahweh Shemai Shai, he created this system that you got to put him first, then you got to put your children, then you got to put him first, and then, like, whatever it is that you do outside of the truth, like your trade, your job, like making ends meet. and then you put your children, and then you put yourself. So like you're not yourself, but my order kind of messed up. So yeah, how about Shemi Shai? Your job, yourself, then your children, then your woman. All right, your woman, she really comes last, and that's how she wants it. All right, hey, she's the most happy when she's in that type of state. All right, because she's constantly, um, she respect what you got going on, and she see you working towards something. Okay, if she really with you, in which you gonna have women out here that's gonna bug out, but still though, hey, for the most part, a lot of you brothers' wives are gonna be saved. So hey, so don't fret. All right. So now I'm gonna go to book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 2, and read on down. And it reads, my son, that thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation, and set thy heart aright, and constantly endure, and make not haste in the time of trouble. Right, so make not haste, because when you going through trouble in this truth, because we always going through trouble, you got to be patient. You got to ask yourself, like, what is Yahweh Shemi trying to show me? Okay, because if you miss the point, you're gonna find yourself in the same damn predicament that you was at first. Because if you don't correct it, all right, the Lord will keep putting you through the same shit until you learn. Or the Lord just say, "I'll forget it, man." Like this nigga just can't be clean. Then he just cash you out. All right, and which that's worse, because none of us want to be a castaway, like King Saul, because he was a castaway. All right. All right. I think the scriptures actually talk about castaways. Right. So verse 3, cleave unto him and depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at thy last end. Right. So you got to cleave unto Yahweh Shemi Shai and depart not away. Right, because he's the only one that can help you. He put you in so he can get you out. Whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully, and be patient without change to a lower state. Right? So, whatsoever is brought upon thee, take cheerfully. You got to be patient. All right? Because when you in that lower state, the Lord is dealing with you. All right? Because he has to break you down before he builds you up. For gold is tried in the fire, and acceptable men in the furnace of adversity. Right? So gold, acceptable men. Okay? So like the purging process of gold shining. The scripture talk about how does the gold become dim. All right, because we got because the Israelite man referred to as fine gold. The golden wedge of Ophir, right? So it's like gold sitting outside and getting rained on, weathered. Okay, which is a metaphor for going through the trials and tribulations of this damn wicked world. And eventually, you might get a little rust on it. You might get dirt on it. You know what I'm saying? Aged. So that gold, it has to be broken down again. And that's a violent process of beating the gold and, putting that heat to it in order to purge it the right way. Because when you're going through hell, hey, that builds character. Believe in him and he will help thee. Order thy way aright and trust in him. Ye that fear the Lord, wait for his mercy and go not aside, lest ye fall. Right? So, because if you go aside, wait for me, how about Shemi Shai, and lean on your own understanding, you're going to fall. But if you stay close to you, how about Shemi Shai, you ain't going to never fall. All right? And only the elect is going to do that. Ye that fear the Lord, hope for good and for everlasting joy and mercy. Look at the generations of old and see, did ever any trust in the Lord and was confounded? Or did any abide in his fear and was forsaken? Or whom did he ever despise that called upon him? Right. And what's the answer? Nobody. Right. Because the Lord is faithful. All right, he is faithful to his servants. If you be faithful to him, he be faithful to you. And that's the type of compassion and power that you serve. You got to believe that. And sometimes you might think that the Lord is picking on you, like Lord, why, Lord, why? All right, and it just you questioning how much you may share, and I'm talking to myself first and foremost. That means you lacking faith, and that's the flesh. That's the flesh talking. So yeah, you gotta eventually snap out of it. Like, what am I saying? What am I doing, man? I gotta, I gotta keep, I gotta keep waiting on the Lord. I gotta ask the Lord for forgiveness and ask Him like, what is He trying to teach me? Cause it's lessons every day. It says, for the Lord is full of compassion and mercy, long suffering and very pitiful, and forgiveth sins, and saveth in time of affliction. Woe be to fearful hearts and faint hands, and a sinner that goeth 2 ways. Woe unto him that is faint hearted, for he believeth not, therefore shall he not be defended. Woe unto you that have lost patience, for what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Right? So yeah, you gotta be patient, man. You gotta be patient. You can't be like, oh, yeah, like I ain't had no boxing so and so years. It's this chick that got a man. I'm gonna see if I can. I'm gonna see if I can take her from her dude. All right, cause she been giving me choosing signals, man. That's wicked as hell, man. You can't do no stuff like that. That means you don't have faith. All right. So they that fear the Lord will not disobey His word, and they that love Him will keep His ways. Right. So if you fear the Lord, you will not disobey His word. Because if you do some stuff like that, that means what? That means you don't fear the Lord. Okay. So come. And a few more scriptures I'm gonna get, then I'm gonna wrap up. All right. So this is Ezekiel 22:18. Son of man, the house of Israel is to me become dross. And it's like, I was gonna get the definition of dross. Forgot. It says something regarded as worthless, right? So debris, chaff, all right, detritus, rubbish, trash. Okay. So yeah, so the Lord, He has to get all the filth off of you. Because we all have filth on us when we come into this truth. All right. So the Lord, He gotta burn that shit off of us. Okay. And if you you toss it and turning. All right, hey, the Lord might just say, "Hey, forget it, man. Hey, this is just too far gone. Just toss you out." But you don't want that though. It says, all they are brass and tin and iron, and lead in the midst of the furnace. They are even the dross of silver. Therefore, thus said the Lord, power, because ye are all become dross. Behold, therefore I will gather you in the midst of Jerusalem, as they gather silver, brass, iron, and lead and tin into the midst of a furnace, to blow the fire upon it, to melt it. So will I gather you in my anger and in my fury, and I will leave you there and melt you. Yea, I will gather you and blow upon you in the fire of my wrath, and you shall be melted in the midst thereof. The silver is melted in the midst of the furnace, so shall you be melted in the midst thereof, and you shall know that I, the Lord, have poured out my fury upon you. Alright. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, the Son of man, saying to her, Thou art the land that is not cleansed, nor raised upon the day of indignation. Right? And that's talking about the 2/3. Okay. So yeah, only the elect is it's gonna pass that purging process. Everybody else is gonna get evaporated. And so the Lord, He gon', which Israelite is still gold, but the Lord, He gonna melt you all the way down and make something new. Okay, and which He gonna do that to the whole nation. But you Israelites, you just gonna have to just die, man, because you ain't getting it. Okay, so I had one last scripture. Then I'm gonna close it out, Lord willing. So this is Leviticus 26 and 46. It says, these are the statutes and judgments and laws which the Lord made between him and the children of Israel by the hand of Moses. Like it's not what I wanted. Yep. Here it is. Verse 40. If they shall confess the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass, which they trespass against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept the punishment of iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham. Will I remember, and I will remember the land. Right? So yeah, so kind. And I'm not gonna read the rest. But kind, and that's what the Lord is doing now. Because the Lord is love us so much, and He's so merciful, and He wants the best for us. He shit. When we get into the kingdom, the Lord gonna spoil us. All right. So that brother Kazak, he did a video. Like the Lord's gonna spoil the elect. So like it's a castaway. So 1 Corinthians 9:27. So I'm gonna close out with this. It says, start at verse 24. Know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the price? So run that ye may obtain. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown, but we are incorruptible. I therefore so run, not as uncertainly, so fight I, not as one that beateth the air, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway, right? Yep, and we ain't castaways, man. So that in other words, you gotta practice what you preach. So call Allah Yahweh Bashmi Al Shah Bashim Kakwara Shalom and a Baba Ball.